Okay, so hello again, and we're happy you're joining with us. I was talking to someone here a few days ago, and we were talking about how to keep our minds happy. And the conversation actually started out with, someone is making me unhappy. This thing that someone does is making me unhappy. And we just kind of sat and explored that, which is one of the things I really cherish here, is that you get in these conversations and start looking at, what is my mind doing with this situation? So after a while exploring the situation, realizing, oh, what that person is doing is not making me happy, is not making me unhappy. It's what I'm doing with my mind. So quite often what happens with us is, we start out and we're feeling like kind of neutral or okay. Someone does something. And because our minds are so externalized, especially in our culture, but just probably for eons, just the training of the mind, there's you out there and you're doing something to me in here. And this is the automatic default way that our mind goes. So I become convinced. There's one very dear Dharma friend here, and I'm going to say this, but hope nobody starts wondering, but who I am sure makes me jealous. I don't get jealous. Jealousy doesn't rise in my mind. This person makes me jealous by what she does. So, you can look at that and go, that's just crazy. Because other people look at what this person does and they don't feel jealousy. They might feel rejoicing. They might feel neutral. They might not even notice, whatever. And I've talked with this person before, so I feel like we now have gotten to a place where we can kind of laugh about it, like, oh yeah, you're doing that to me. So I just started meditating the last couple days on who makes me happy, who makes me unhappy, and just keep looking at who is that who that is doing, quote, that, making me jealous. And I came up with this little antidote that's working quite well, and then I'm going to read a quote because I bumped into another, I think, stronger antidote. But I just say to myself, some moments it just boils down to that all I need to do in this moment is keep my own mind happy, no matter what the external circumstances are. And I always use the example of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who has far more difficulties to deal with than I do. And he just continues to have a peaceful mind, even though I can't even imagine the amount of stress on this person. And so all that I need to do, all that we need to do in mind training boils down to, what can I do in this moment to make my own mind happy, to keep it happy? So step one is to understand it's not out there. Nobody's making me jealous. No one's making me unhappy. The second thing is watching this automatic pattern of blaming and putting the responsibility out there, rather than going immediately to what's rising in my mind. So that leads to the third step, which is really recognizing what's going on in here. That's the mind training, and it's really difficult sometimes, A, to see it, B, to name it, and 3, to claim it. Claim it in the sense of admit, I have jealousy rising. I don't like that. It's like, yuck, I never want to admit that I'm a jealous person. No, I'm above all that, right? But not true. So here's jealousy rising in the mind. Okay, whose responsibility is it to deal with this? That one person in the community that causes me to be jealous. She doesn't even know what's going on in my mind. Besides, what can she do about my mind? Nothing. It's not her ballpark. This is my ballpark. I've got to keep this cleaned up. So we miss that step, you know, at least I do, and I think it's pretty common. We miss this step and we jump right to what out there is doing this, rather than, what's rising in my mind? And then probably, I won't say the most important, but a crucial part is, where's the antidote? Where's the antidote to this? I have to know it's jealousy before I can apply the right antidote of rejoicing. If I'm confused and I think it's anger, then I'm going to apply patience, but it won't be quite as effective. So this talk is just about focusing in on that step that we miss so often, where we go, oh, bad feeling, it's her fault. You know, and then we begin the story, the long story of, and then she did this, and then she did that, and back there she did, then she reminds me of that, and off we go, and then of course the afflictions just proliferate. So while I was thinking about all this, then something came across in the email, and this quote, and it kind of made me go, whoa, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at explaining. And it's by Yangye Mingyur Rinpoche. And he says this: ultimately, happiness comes down to choosing. You can choose between two things. A, the discomfort of becoming aware of your mental afflictions. The discomfort of becoming aware of your mental afflictions, or the discomfort of being ruled by them. So I really love this because it got right to the core of it. So yes, in order to get to our happiness, we are going to need to address this discomfort of becoming aware of our mental affliction. And you know what? Then I think we should be happy and rejoice in that, because that's going to help us get all the way to a really peaceful mind, which is effective and helpful for all beings.